What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Listen, I'm just here. We want to have this conversation regarding um music ethics, right? With all of the family from Drummers United International, and I'm excited for this conversation that we're getting ready to have. Let's bring everybody in to the table so we can have a talk. I'm Dominique Campbell, aka Rhythmic Radical, out of Oakland, California, and now we're getting ready to introduce everybody who's here that you will now see. We got the whole squad here. We excited. We have Ronnie Thomas. We have Mr. Soul Tone, Swift, right? Then we got Dave Backer. We got Armani Lowry, aka Brains. We got Ronell Super Drummer Smith. We got Daryl Barefoot Wolfo. We got Double D Entertainment. And I already said Ronnie Thomas, but I'm gonna say it again because it's my first time meeting my brother. But yeah, we're all on here together. And we all working together to have a conversation about how to be united as a group and how to work as a collective to build music in the future. All right, y'all. So I hope you all will be blessed by this conversation. And let's get started. What's going on with everybody? Y'all all right? How y'all feeling?
Yeah.
We're good, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, now I don't know if y'all want to do rock, paper, scissors or what y'all want to do to start off the conversation, but let's have a conversation about what does it take to last in the music industry, in your opinion? What makes you like last versus other cats who quit, right? Because there's a lot of cats who start, right? And then if you notice over time, those same guys are off the scene after a while. So what is it that makes you keep going as a musician to continue in music? Whoever want to go first. Y'all want to do rock, paper, scissors? Let's go. Rock, paper.
Being consistent.
All right. Being consistent. Okay.
Character.
Being consistent.
Who else? Dave, you going next?
I think it's the person's character.
Okay. You think it's character? Anybody else? What makes you keep going when it comes to music?
I can't really hear y'all that good. Everything's breaking up.
Okay, hold on one second.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have some headphones? It might help if you have some headphones.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we
I
can
can
hear
only
you.
catch like every other word you're saying. It's breaking up real bad.
Okay, hold on one
Maybe that's
second.
my Bluetooth. Hold on, let me see if I can.
I hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine as well. So let's see. I was gonna say if you have some headphones, like some headphones, if you have some headphones, that might help you. But yeah, who else wants to continue going? Yeah, I know the internet be tripping sometimes, y'all. But yeah, who else would you say? What would you say is what allows you to continue to keep going when it comes to music?
You gotta have a great personality for one thing.
Yeah.
A great personality, okay.
You gotta have love for the music.
Okay.
If you didn't have love for the music, it won't be all your heart. Your heart wouldn't be in it.
I got you. Anybody else want to chime in on what they think keeps them going when it comes to the music?
Love.
Okay.
Love, period. All the things that everybody else has said, but you have to like Soul Tone said, love for the music, but not just for any particular music, but for all music.
Yeah.
Right.
And consistency, persistency, heart, all that. I've been in the business over 30 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even when it comes down to setting up drums, going to gigs, doing the manual labor, you have to realize this is a love thing, because more than likely keyboard players and drummers are going to do the most work. And then once you're in the gig, drummers have the most physical job. So it has to be a love thing.
Right, definitely. I
Mhm.
definitely agree. Anybody else want to go?
And I think also the people that you're playing with too.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you all are meshing together, because if not, it's not gonna work.
Right. That's very true.
Excuse me, everybody. I got really, really horrible sound. Can I dip out and come back in?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
See if that fixes it.
Yep, that's fine.
What's up, Ronnie Thomas?
Hey, Ronnie, can you hear Daryl?
He's on mute.
No, I know. He's at work though, so he's trying to navigate between two worlds. Look. But yeah, so for me, I feel like it's actually quite a few different things. It's quite a few different things when it comes to what it is that allows people to maintain, right? And so for me, it's like you have to get past the money piece, right? And you got to get past like if everybody is gonna be cool and are you gonna get the gig and are you gonna get a call back? You got to get past all those things, because at the end of the day, like if it's not something that you really want to pursue and it's not something that you really want to do, you're not gonna continue to do it, right? It's at some point it's gonna frustrate you or it's gonna irritate you, because you like, look, like what I thought I was gonna be making, I might not be making right now. What I thought I was gonna be doing and what I was gonna be getting back, I'm not really getting back. And so now you have to kind of come to grips with the fact of, am I really gonna commit to it, even though the results that I want, I'm not per se getting in the moment, right? So at one point in my life, I might have been like 20, and I was like, dude, I don't want to play drums no more. Like I'm tired of these little gigs. I'm tired of doing this, like I'm tired of doing this stuff. I'm not seeing the results I want. So I'm like, I'm going to just work a regular job and I'm going to just, I'm going to do that whole thing, right? Man, after like 3 months of doing that, I'm like, heck no, I ain't doing that. Like, I'm about to go play my drums. So, right. And so I had to come to grips with the fact of like, okay, let me really deal with where I'm at and let me deal with who I am and how it is that I want to operate when it comes to this music thing, because I don't want to just quit on it, because I didn't put in all this time, all these hours. I didn't did all of this stuff. But like, to be honest with you, like I got accepted in the Berklee College of Music, right? But I didn't have the money to go. So I was hot, like, man, like I didn't got into the #1 like music school in the world. I can't even go because I don't have the money. So I'm like, man, like God, like why would you allow me to get accepted into this school? But you know I don't have the finances to be able to go, and they didn't grant me a scholarship, and I had to try to do it twice. I ended up going through the scholarship process twice, trying to get in, like trying to have the fortitude to do it. Didn't make it, right? But I got accepted into the school. Right, so I mean, I guess that counts for something, right? Like, no, it don't count for jack. Like, it don't mean nothing at the end of the day if you can't follow through with what you're trying to get done, right? But then I ended up just continuing on the path to now be where I am. And so, like, what I'm really saying is like no matter where the results are right now, like, don't quit just because it's hard, and don't give up just because you're not getting the desired results you want in the moment, because eventually they'll come, right? So. But yeah, that's all I was saying with that. Ronnie, can you hear us okay? Double D Entertainment, you got us? We all right? Y'all can hear us cool?
Yep. Can y'all hear
cool.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, bro. Oh yeah. So but yeah, man, so when it comes to music ethics, right? Like what are some dudes and what are,
not on my part.
Oh yeah, we can hear you, bro. Yeah, we can hear you. What are some do's and some don'ts when it comes to playing the drums and being a musician? All right, let's deal with that.
Ask that question one more time, please.
What are some do's and don'ts when it comes to being a musician? Like when you on a gig, like what is something you should do and what is something you should not do?
Show up on time. Learn the songs before you go.
Jump in together. Look. Somebody said show up on time. What else? What else should you do as a musician? Let's say it like that.
Make sure you know the music.
Rehearse.
Know the music.
Rehearse.
You said rehearse. Well, that's know the music. Yeah.
Follow directions.
Follow directions. Okay.
Don't show up to a gig and not know the music.
Right.
There you go. Anybody else? Yeah, so don't show up late, right? Don't come up there looking crazy, like dressed apart, right? Like, like if you know you're doing a restaurant gig, that might not be the day to wear your favorite jogging outfit. It just may not be the day. Like I'm just saying, like, you know, like you gotta dress the part wherever you're going, right?
Right.
And to be honest with you, the biggest deal that I've ever seen or experienced is that a lot of guys, they simply don't know how to conduct themselves in those environments. Like they don't know how to just chill. They got to be doing something. Like, so when you not on the drums, you all in a bunch of people's face, and it's like, hey, listen, like, like chill. Like this, I shouldn't have to have a security guard take you outside because you too drunk to finish the gig, and all, like, hey, you gotta relax, right? Like it's a time and a place for all that if you're gonna do all that. But like I think it's just something that I've heard from different artists. Like, hey, we appreciate the fact that you're not a headache, right? So we ain't gotta come looking for you during the breaks. We ain't gotta have security come escort you out. Like we don't have to do all of that stuff, right? So I think that's highly important when you're doing those gigs, especially because you want to also be able to build a rapport with the artist that you're working with, right? Which a lot of people don't do, and they really don't get to know the artist because all they're doing is worried about a check. And it's like, hey, these are relationships you gotta foster so that you could be a better like musician, and you could build a family structure and environment to where they're willing to call you back just because you cool, right? So like that stuff works. Like that's very important in my opinion, because who you are as a person when you finish playing like affects if you get a call back or not too, right? So especially when you sub. Okay, let's talk about subbing in for gigs. What should you do and what should you not do when you're subbing for a gig, right? So I mean, because
Well, I say the same thing, man. Listen,
Exactly.
show up early. Make sure you know the music. You know, make sure you know your attire is presentable. You know what I'm saying? Don't be coming in, you know, high and drunk to the point that you can't remember the music and you slapping off on the drums. And listen, it's a lot of stuff.
Don't try to take the gig.
From the person.
Oh, you got to say that. You got to talk a little louder on that one.
Don't try to take the gig.
What do you mean take the gig?
That's good stuff. Yes, sir.
From the person.
From the person that you're subbing for.
How would you do that?
If somebody offered you the gig because they may like your style better, you're there at the employment of the person that you're subbing for. And so that's between them and the artist or whatever, but you don't take the gig from the person that you're subbing from because you want a gig.
Now, how many times has that happened to somebody on a gig that you call somebody in to sub for you, and then they end up trying to take your gig, and then you find out after?
That happened to me recently.
What? Come on, tell us a story, Doc.
Well, I had a gig, basically. I had a church basically to play for, but since back surgery, I had to give it to a person. I just told them to take it over until I get back, and then after they took it over, I got back. All of a sudden, they say that they like his style better than my style. Basically, how they gonna like my style, and they haven't even heard me play yet.
Mm.
I'm still good.
Wait, what? So wait, they said they liked his style better than your style, but they
And
had
they haven't even heard you play it.
Huh?
you said how'd that work?
But the problem was I had a chance, the opportunity to play for this church, and as I was going to play for this church, I was there to play for the church. But then all of a sudden they say, okay, we're not going to accept you at this time because of because of your back situation. We don't think that you're going to be ready. But I was ready at that time. How are you going to sit there and say that I wasn't ready at that time when I wasn't ready? But like I said, things happen for good reasons. I'm not going to say what happened, but so just still a blessing. I'm just still going on.
Wow.
This just happened recently, probably a year and a half.
Wow. I mean, well, if we talk about church stuff, listen, we'll be here all day. We'll be here all day. And the reason being is because a lot of times the way in which musicians are handled in these church services and working for churches is not always conducted in a very
like this. I set this big bro. I set the price and everything. The price was that I was asking for, they was going to give it to me. And the price that I asked for, I set it for that person too. So that means that he was going to get the same price that I was asking for. And then all of a sudden, I get ready. It wasn't there for me no more.
wow.
He's a young cat.
Wow.
Wow.
That's part of the reason why, man. The young cats be trying to take over.
Well, you know what? That's going to happen throughout your career because there's always the hungry young guy who just wants to do a job to undercut your pay and the whole thing because they haven't been taught the respect of what you've gone through to get to the point that you got to.
Hey, let me call you back. I'm on a call. I'm on a Zoom call.
Yeah. And so that's going to happen. That's going to happen all your life. That a young cat is going to try to undercut you. You know, the thing is you got to have the rapport with the people that you're working with and a good rapport so that you have job security. And, you know, a lot of times I try to say 90% of it is knowing how to live with people, whether it be church, whether it be on the road or whatever. You have to know how to live with people. And once they respect you like that, they won't give your gig away, even though the young guy will try to undercut you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now when it comes to that situation, what from the elder statesman, what's the best way to handle that type of situation with a younger cat?
Well, I mean, the best way is to educate them. You know, don't kick them to the curb because the cycle is going to come around.
Right.
The cycle is going to come around. I was a younger cat, but the way I grew up, I was growing up. I was raised to respect the people in front of me. I was also raised that no matter how good you are, there's always going to be somebody who's going to be able to come in and blow you off of your kit. Always. The cycle's going to always come around. But the other thing is that, and the best thing is that you can only be the best at being you. Nobody's going to play anything like you. And once you've established your style and you're very confident in what you do is going to be in demand because it's you.
Yes,
True facts, man.
But educate the young people, you know, because their turn's going to come around. You know, I mean, like Ronnie and Armani both undercut me for gigs. Now I'm just playing.
Oh God.
and sweet.
No, my brother, no. My brother.
Soul Tone, see, see.
No, I'm just playing. I'm just
You
playing.
didn't tell us that part of the story, Soul Tone. You did wrong. You did him wrong. No,
No,
man.
I'm just playing. I'm playing. All you guys are great. All you guys have been great young men in my life, and appreciate. I miss y'all really. I miss being in Vegas around y'all because y'all been great young men in my life.
That's
Love
what's
you.
up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Thank you, man.
Now, how do you feel? How do you all feel like music brings people together? Like, let's talk about that. Like, do you feel like music? It's very interesting to me. I feel like whenever I play with people for a long period of time, like we become like family, unless they just crazy or something. And then then I get to be crazy too, and it'd be fun, right? But no, like I feel like whenever I work with people or play with people for a long period of time, I feel like we just, I don't know, it's crazy. Like we start talking about life and we start talking about family and we start talking about stories and we just, I mean, it's interesting to me. So how do you feel like music brings people together? You know what I mean? Like,
I think first things first, like no matter who you are, everybody loves music.
right.
That's something you can't get. That's something you can't get away from. Everybody loves music. So, man, there's something about music that just it creates an atmosphere, and that's not just with gospel. All music creates a certain atmosphere. At the end of the day, if somebody put on some Anita Baker right now, listen, 99% of the people love Anita Baker. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to put people in this mode, and then now everybody's kind of in this celebratory mode. And, stuff like that. Like, each genre brings a certain level of, what I'm saying, like, this unity because of, how the music makes them feel.
Yes, sir. You and this Anita Baker, you really,
I know, Doc. I love Anita Baker, Doc.
So you must love Ricky Lawson too, because he's on most of her tracks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Give me some of that Frankie Beverly and Mays. I'm good.
Uh-oh.
See?
Calvin
See?
Tapper.
So you gonna play that at church on Sunday or what?
I would.
Look at
You gotta change the words. You gotta change the words.
Hey, man, they gonna be in the middle of blessing. All you gonna hear is dun, 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 dun.
See, that's
Man, give me some temptations, man.
you said the
Hey,
Tim.
man.
Some
Oh,
temptations, bro.
y'all trying to go old school right now. Y'all
It's all good.
Wait a
listen.
minute, what you talking about old school? That's my school. What's up?
No. You in the new school with us. You in class with us today, so that means you were part of the new school today.
All right.
Man, listen, everybody we done named, Daryl done played for.
You know what? I haven't played for Anita Baker or Mays, but I sure wish I did.
Bruh, I was at Daryl's house and he done showed me every video of every artist you can think of that he was on stage with.
Jesus.
God has been blessed my career, and I mean, there's been a lot of artists that I've either played with or come up on stage, or and I think the last time I was saying, we did this Christmas thing with Gladys and Smokey Robinson, Patti LaBelle, oh my God, Yolanda Adams. I got to play for all of them.
Wow.
And it was like at some point you become a fan again. I'm going like, oh man.
Did Smokey Robinson, did he sing Gang Banging?
Huh?
Did Smokey Robinson sing Gang Banging?
No, but I'll send you the link. It was all Christmas stuff. Christmas stuff. But
So how was that?
it was great. It was great. Every last one of them were great. And I got to play behind some great performers. And that's a blessing.
Right now, sir.
No, that's what's up. Like, I mean, when you talk about like all the people that you've been able to play for, like, I mean, that's on point. I mean, because everybody don't get afforded them opportunities. You know what I mean? So to be able to be there and be able to play on those stages, gang banging is my jam. Listen, don't
Looking at
it's what song trying to add this to the set list at church. I already found out. See, this is what's going on. I understand.
Yeah, that.
Soul Tone be up there trying to add them little songs in there, you know, saving all my love for you, all that kind of stuff. He be trying to look.
Right.
You already late.
Look, you already late. See, you trying to do the gospel remix. See, and Kim talking about I like this song.
Exactly.
No. Listen, stop egging this song on. We're gonna have to find this song to play it for the Saints because they want to be blessed today. But Dave, what's your favorite old school song, Dave?
I have a lot, bro.
You said what?
Huh?
You said what?
I said I have a lot.
You said you got a lot. Well, name 3 of them then, since you got a lot, since you got so many.
Okay, old school, or what are we talking about?
Like before Kurt Franklin Stump, old school. You feel me? Like before then. You know what I'm saying?
Run DMC, Walk This Way.
Okay. What else?
That's one. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay. Who else?
Give
me one more.
Anything from like Benny Goodman and up.
Okay, I respect it. That's what's up. Now listen, for me, when we talk about old school, one of my favorite groups was Zapp and Roger. So like that for me, listen, I used to play. So you
know about Computer Love?
Huh?
You know about Computer Love?
Yeah, we played that on Sunday morning the other week. See, I'm following you up for real. We used to play what was it, GoldenEye 007, right? And then we would turn right around and we were playing Zapp and Roger entire album. And my uncle, like he's like a music like nut. So like me and him, we exchange music all the time. And so he told me about Zapp and Roger. He said, I'm about to let y'all listen to this heat right here. We were riding the car with him. And he put that album on, and we drove. I think we drove to like an All-Star game or something when they had it in Oakland that year. That was the year Vince Carter won the dunk competition, right? And he was playing that album, and I was like, dude, this is sick. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is about to be my one. So that's one of my favorite like old school. See, the Saints is ready for all this old school music. We're gonna have to start a DJ booth or something here or something. We're gonna have to figure it out.
They're gonna be there.
Wait a minute. Y'all talking about y'all old school? This is my old school. I say, look at the hands bobbing.
Come on, see?
I'm just saying, that's old school.
That's that feel good music, Doc.
That's that real good music.
Exactly.
That's that feel good music, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Make it bob a little bit.
What
So, soon as that came on, my head got the bobbing. I couldn't control it.
Right. Ronnie is a dancing drummer. Oh my God. Come on, Doc. Yes, sir.
Give me some Daryl.
Yo.
Big bro, you got some Michael Jackson?
Oh, see, you trying to turn up. You can only listen to Michael Jackson if you're gonna get up and pray for the Saints after they finish listening. That's the If you are going to be willing to pray for the Saints after they listen to Michael Jackson, then we'll let you listen to it on here. Because otherwise we can't.
Oh, cut it out.
Man, that's my feeling, but no, Okay, so now next question. Let's deal with this question. Okay, yeah. Let's deal with this next question. Now, when it comes to building, like a brand, if you will, what are some key steps in building a brand as a musician, and how should you? Let me ask you this way: if you have a brand, how should you present it when you're working for a artist? And what I mean by that is like, is everything about you and what you're doing, or is it still going to be about the artist, right? And learning how to navigate on that type of scene, right? Because I know a lot of cats who are trying to build a brand, but they don't always like maintain the fact they hired by somebody to play for that artist. So you're helping to build their brand, right? So you gotta know how to navigate between the two, so you ain't doing too much for yourself that you get kicked off the gig because all it seems like you're doing is trying to promote what you're doing. Right. So how do you balance out those two? If y'all understand my question, you know what I'm saying?
I think the common denominator though with everybody's brand is probably number one is how are you helping? How is your brand helping other people?
Right.
I think that's one of the common denominators. Because at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, like you kind of spotlight yourself and your abilities or whatever. But at the end of the day, as a musician, it's not just you. I mean, even as a producer, at the end of the day, you still producing somebody else. So now the thing is like, okay, how do you work well with others? How do your product or whatever your brand is, how is it helping somebody else get to another level? And I think, when you focus on that, then for the most part, the artist or whoever is trying to like pick you up or buy into your brand would be, would be more likely to buy into your brand because it's like, listen, he can help me, and then they're more likely to be like, listen, let me help him in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just kind of my experience with it. Because even with my musical brains or whatever, my ultimate goal is to help somebody, help people with vision come to pass in any way I can. So my passion for helping somebody else always comes back around as like, listen, because they put they all in helping me, so now let me return the favor and help them.
Yes, sir. Anybody else want to jump in on that one? Wake up right now. No, I'm playing.
He's back there listen to that music and got lost in the music.
Right, look, see, we're gonna have to let him play Michael Jackson over there because he over there. Boy, what you doing?
He forgot where he was.
I'm chilling.
Clearly.
Chilling.
All right, now, okay, so we can.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I wasn't gonna say anything, but
yeah, see, come on,
big bro.
I have never known an artist to give me a gig. And
Facts.
as far as dealing with my brand, who I am, as far as an artist is concerned, they are the brand. And so the only way I can really deal with me promoting or branding myself is outside of the stage or outside of the rehearsal hall or whatever, meaning being that, yeah, I can take pictures and whatever, and I can brand myself as playing with this artist. But as far as an artist ever saying, hey, how can you help me outside of being my drummer? Haven't had that happen yet because they're already branded. But, but as far as you taking advantage of who you've played with, I guess is to taking advantage of who you played with and branding yourself and saying like my resume, is my brand, basically.
Speaks for yourself.
Huh?
It speaks for itself.
Yeah. And so like I can say from word of mouth, because before, I played drums in the pre social media age.
Right.
And so it was all, my branding was word of mouth. Hey, can he play? Is he on time? Does he learn the music? All the stuff that we've been talking about. Is his endurance up? Can he live with people? Can he be talked about and talk about people? And that's all the stuff that tells other musicians in my era that hey, he knows how to live with people on the road. He does his work, la-di-da-di-da. And so musicians have always gotten me gigs. I've always been turned on to the gigs that I've had from other musicians, not from an artist, if that makes sense.
That's
Okay,
facts.
absolutely.
That's facts.
Yeah. And the other thing is that you gotta learn that you have to be selfless.
Okay.
Being a musician on a stage is selfish. It's about what they want from you, not from what you want from them.
Damn.
Exactly.
What you want from them is the experience, and you do want the paycheck and whatever. But it's like, and I don't know if I mentioned in the last thing, like I have had to play cross stick on Prince songs where there is no cross stick because that's what the artist wanted.
Wow.
Because they wanted the breakdown so drastic that you went from snare drum to cross stick on a Prince tune. So even though that might be dramatically insane for drummers and you're going like, you want to bash through the whole thing, but you have to do what the artist asks and do it with the attitude of you're gonna own that change and make it feel good, regardless of whether you agree with it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Good.
Teachers.
You just brought up a point though that I think has to be addressed, which is if you're not the MD, right? But they make a call that you don't agree with. How do you play through that frustration without showing it on with your body language? Right? Because listen, I promise you, like in church, dude, like the spirit be high and you ready to go. Like and the musicians is ready. I mean, we ready to go. Like we all feel it in the musicians pit or in the wherever the musicians are situated. We know it's that time. Like we ready. Like organist is ready, bass player ready, drummer ready, and at this time we're gonna take offering. You like, bro? First of all, like you about to catch these hands. Like, listen, because
just take it with a smile. Just take it with a smile.
We all sitting here like, come on, bro. Like you don't feel that? Like y'all just gonna keep going? Like, come on, man. Like, hey, right? So
just take it with a smile.
How do you play through that frustration, right, and not showing up? Because I know. Listen, I put my hand on the Bible. I mean, yeah, God bless you. It has been a time, right, where at one point I just stood up, like, bro, listen, like, bro, like, come on, like, we here, right? So can we please, like, be on one accord in that? But I know we can't call it because we're not the person in charge who's running everything, or we have to basically be willing to submit whatever we feel in the moment. Even though we all are on one accord in our area or our section, we still got to make this adjustment, right? So, do anybody want to talk about a time where they experienced that and what they did, right? Because I'm probably not the best example for this story because I'm terrible when it comes to that type of stuff. I'd be like, look, I'm ready to fight. Like, come on, like what, like? But I would say
it's hard. I would say it's hard. I think I try not to be super dramatic. Because at the end of the day, that affects your reputation. So I try not to be like, over the top, like dramatic, but it's so hard to cover my facial expressions. And I remember one day there was a big musical here in Vegas and we was at Victory. And the service was like, it was there. It was high. And I was actually on drums for this. And man, and we started the church bump, I'm saying, we going. And this mother literally came out of nowhere and was like, yes, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, in the middle of our shout music, and the whole band kind of paused and were just like, yo, is this really happening? And to the point where it low key like sucked like the spirit out of everything. Like nobody wanted to play no more, and like everybody comes just like, yeah, I'm over this. And it's hard because there's so many, there's so many people there, and you still trying to be professional, and well, I know it's hard. I had a couple of the moments where it's like, man, are you serious? Or it could be the flip side. I was playing out another event. Like a couple years ago, and the spirit, it was more worship, and it wasn't like no church bump. So they in worship, everybody's in worship, everybody going in cool. And because one minister felt like a church bump should go there, he went to the organ player and was like, yo, y'all need to go to high praise. And I'm like, yo, listen, if y'all do this, I'm walking smooth off. I'm like, yo. So then he got the organ player, he got the drummer attention, and then they stopped the whole flow of worship to go to the shouting music. Now that one, I literally walked off stage. Like I was like,
You probably not the best example for the right thing to do in that moment. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, no, you're right. Because when I listen,
okay, hold on.
We
got a question. It say, can you all talk about the importance of not bashing artists during award shows and how it can cost you gigs? People who hire for gigs watch these things on social media. So it sounds like somebody was basically going off or talking bad about an artist on social media, I guess maybe after, or maybe after the performance or something to that extent. And basically what she's saying is there are other people who watch how these people interact with these artists, and they hire musicians for other gigs. So what's ultimately being said is it's probably not the best idea to bash an artist, but like, how do you feel about like when it comes to being transparent about the music industry and some of the behind the scenes stuff? Like, how do you do that tactfully?
Social media is not the place for everything.
It's not,
okay.
it's not
Social media is not the place for your, like, to me, I use more social media just for like connecting to people, branding, whatever. What people don't understand is like, listen, no matter what level you're at, we all part of this entertainment business, right? Daryl just got done saying like, okay, so the artists, don't hire him, so other musicians hire them, whatever the case may be, right? But their staff all together, listen, once you put something on the internet, you can't take it back. Even if you try to delete it, somebody done seen it or somebody done screenshot it, right? So now if I'm on there and I'm like, listen, whoever, like Ashanti, I'll be like, listen, I'm not a big Ashanti fan, woo blah 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 blah, right? But then her people look at my social media like, oh, listen, because I heard about Armani and I heard he was a good MD, so let me look at, let me see, check up on him, see who he is, blah blah blah. And the first thing they see is, oh, I'm not a Ashanti fan. Oh, well, he just missed out on this money. He just missed out on this opportunity that could lead to other stuff because he don't know how to keep his emotions to himself. Like, listen, talk to yourself in the mirror or something, text yourself, whatever. But everything don't have to go on social media. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's just with anything. Like, so what happens is a lot of people kill their opportunity because the moment award shows happen, or it's not even just about the artists. The same thing with musicians. Like, people see musicians on there, and so, Gladys Knight, whatever, could be on there, and then Daryl is on there, like, playing, and somebody be like, oh, well, I didn't like the lick that he did. So listen, keep that to yourself. Like, everybody's not gonna like everything that you do, but that's not your place to put that on Facebook, because guess what? Daryl's on the gig and you not on the gig. You sitting there watching him.
Yep,
That's
watching
true.
him play.
That is true.
Watching him play. Watching him. You got to keep your stuff to yourself, man. In all reality, man. Like, I tell people all the time, man, social media is not for your personal life, man. You should keep your personal life personal and how you feel personal. You know what I'm saying? And you will be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody got to know that, what you go through every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't for everybody to know. That's for what, your private life, man. And you could kill, man, like you said, you get off a gig just off of your social media, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in Germany one day, and The guy told me. So the guy went back to the guy I played for. He went back to him and told him that I told them that they owed me some money, and I was talking about it behind his back. So the dude came to me and was like, "Hey, bro, man, I'm about to blah 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 blah. I'm about to, I might have to send you home." I said, "Bro," I said, "First of all, you ain't the one that gave me my money, and if you send me back on the plane, you know what I'm saying, that's avoiding your contract right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out here on tour with you, and you got people that don't even care about you, talking behind my back. You know what I'm saying? But I tell everything I say to you, I can say to your face. So you know what I'm saying? If you can't say it to the person's face or whatever, the artist's face or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just keep your comments to yourself."
That's true.
I mean, but this is the thing, Ronell. I have an issue with you, and I have to deal with this on the live right now because
Let's deal with it. Deal with it. I have an issue with you. I have an issue with you because of Saturday, you know what I'm saying, when we was at the studio. You know what I'm saying? I was up there doing all that video work for you.
now he giving out insider information because I can't fully disclose what he's discussing regarding Saturday, but basically I allow him in. This is how people do. See, they get on here and just act crazy. See, I invited him to a session that I was having.
Yes, sir.
And now he trying to bash me, and I invited him. Like what? Like what's up?
But you my bro. But you my bro. So they bashing. You know what I'm saying? But the way you killed them drums, but the way you killed them drums though, it was all good. You feel me? So it was all good.
Starting. I'm not in that. But what I'm saying is it's very important, right? To learn how to maintain yourself. What you saying? Getting likes can cost you the bag. Be careful. Absolutely. And the reality is this: a lot of people, right? They need therapists, right? Like musicians need therapists too. Like you need somebody to be able to talk to, right? That can help you navigate through life circumstances, so you can learn how to deal, learn how to deal through your emotions, right? Regarding certain things. Like it's been plenty of times where I was supposed to get some money for a gig and the people flake. I didn't go to social media and be like, "Oh well, no." Right. Oh, and this is the other thing, and I'm gonna deal with this too in a minute. But yeah, like you have to learn how to navigate through certain circumstances, and you have to know how to say things. Like I could express the fact that somebody didn't take care of me on a gig, but the way I might go about it, you would never know the person's name, and you would never know the narrative regarding who is touching. Right? It's you got to know how to navigate in the circumstances to help other people. Right. So for me, it's like somebody saying your vision is dope. So Tom, see that there you go. They said they like your vision of what you're doing. See that's what's up. But yeah, like you gotta learn where to have something to say, and you gotta know who to talk to, because there's been plenty of cats who was supposed to be cool with me, right? And then I told them something in privacy or told them something in private. Right, a closed conversation that we having, and then some kind of way that door get opened into a bunch of other people, and now they not cool, and now no, that was between me and you. You asked me a question, I answered your question, and as a man, like I'm expecting that to stay in the car, in the house, at the restaurant. Like I'm not expecting for this to become Channel 7, and I'm doing a report for CNN now because now you got to go and broadcast this information to a bunch of people. Like that's not how that works. Right.
That's why I'm so thankful for my mentor. He's on line right now. Daryl, if there's certain things that I talk to him and nobody knows, because our personality, our love towards each other, how he's going to talk to me and how I'm going to take it. You have to respect that person that you're really going to talk to, and vice versa. He respects me, I respect him.
I mean, but see, I got a problem with you because
how you got a problem with me, bro?
You got my number too, and you ain't told me.
and that's the way it all starts.
That's how it starts.
You got my number too. You ain't told me none of that.
But did you know something? You have.
I'm kidding. Oh man,
He just-
I like having fun. Y'all gotta
yeah. Well, look,
because
I
I like
just
having a good time, y'all. So y'all
But
bear
you know
with
what? You getting us to a certain level, and I
me.
respect
You
you. For that.
good. You good. I'm playing.
You know that, right?
I already know. Listen, because you listen. But no, it's important to have people in your life that you can trust. Is my point. Like you gotta
Exactly.
have people in your life that you can trust. And the saddest part about it is it's a lot of people that really don't have real friends and real relationships where they can call them and they don't feel judged, right? So like,
Tell them on my fingers, bro.
man, it's crazy. Like and the cold part is I know 1.5 million people, right, from church. When something go down, it's only a handful of people I could call, right? And so it's and it's not because I'm mad at nobody or because I'm not being cool with nobody or whatever. It's just that's just the way life is. Like you all the people you know are not going to be in your circle of dependency, if you will, right? And so for me, like you just have to know how to navigate during them times, and you got to know where to express yourself and how to do it. Like I feel like a lot of people need like personal PRs, right? Like need people to help us when it comes to managing like relationships, like period, like outside of even like you need accountability in all areas. So like for me, I have accountability when it comes to money, when it comes to church, when it comes to ministry, when it comes to build your brand, when it comes to like doing any of these things. I'm accountable to like a lot of people. And it's not because like I always wanted this accountability. It'll be like, hey, I see what you're doing, but have you considered? I want to help you. And I'm like, cool, but I don't feel like talking to you all the time. Like I want to do this the way I want to do it. Like I'm a grown man, dog. Like leave me alone. Not at all. It don't work like that. So you got to help yourself, right? You got to come out of pride. You got to get out of your ego, and you got to learn how to get out of your own way, so that you can become like the best version of yourself in building what you're trying to build. I mean, because the reality is we don't know everything, right? And the difference between me though and other people is, and Ronell can tell you firsthand, is I have no respect of person. If anybody walks up to me and says, "Hey man, like I want to learn from you," I'm like, "Let's do it. What's up? Like what we finna do? Let's go to where the drums at. Where
That's how
we
you're
going?
supposed to be, though.
We're going to your house. We're going to a studio. Like where we going? Because I don't have no like it ain't no. Because I know a lot of cats, they only play with certain people because they own their level. So it's like if I can't learn from you, I'm only gonna deal with you because I can only that type of vibe. And I hate that. I always hated that.
I don't like that.
And the reason I hated it was because I wouldn't be where I was if it wasn't for my boy, for a couple of my boys really, but for one cat in particular, his name was Mark McGee. Mark McGee took me under his wing when I was like 16, 15 years old. I was a junior in high school. Or no, I was a sophomore in high school. He took me up under his wing. We did a jazz festival at Skyline High School. And all the schools in Oakland Unified School District, they would come together and they would all play like from the different schools. So each school would play something. And he heard me playing for the jazz band. And he was like, dude, I like the way you play. He was like, so come to the church with me. I'm going to help you. I'm like, okay, cool. So every day for that summer, I mean, literally every day, it might have been 3 days out of the entire summer, we didn't go to the church. And when we would go to the church, we was normally at the church at least 3 hours at a minimum. Maximum, we was at the church 15 hours. So he would pick me at 10 in the morning. Sometimes we was leaving out of there at 2 o'clock in the morning, playing drums. Like in the work ethic, when he was talking about 12 hours and doing it for 2 months, it took me back to when I was 15 and 16, like, and being in that environment to where it would be different cats coming in. It would just be me and him sometimes. Sometimes they would leave and go eat to Denny's or something. I would be at the church while they at Denny's eating, having fun. I'm still trying to get this lick down to learn this pattern so that by the time they come back, I got it down with my right hand leading and then with my left hand leading. And I'm trying to bring it, and then I'm trying to take it to the next level where I do it off of something different than what he showed me, to show him I was hungry and I really wanted to get it done. Like I feel like a lot of guys now, like it ain't that same narrative. Like cats, like if I ain't got to learn from you anyway, I can learn off YouTube. I can whatever. I don't need you, right? And I don't care about what you're talking about. I'm gonna probably get your gig anyway. Like it's just this mentality that's like very toxic within the musicians community. And I feel like these conversations and these moments actually help to to like bridge that gap, right? And to bring us together and show like there is a group of musicians who actually want to come together. We're not just talking. Like we're not just, you know, a lot of people talk. Oh yeah, man, we got to come together. They never show up for nothing. Right? So, like,
I've said in the Bible it says, where there's unity, there is strength.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's imperative, right? Because like, for example, when I first met Armani, we met because we was playing games on the phone, right? So
Wow.
like we would play Monopoly on the phone. I was playing Monopoly on the phone with his wife. I didn't even know who she was. We just played. So then all of a sudden, I'm on the phone and E is basically like, oh, I know this dope keyboard player. Like, I think y'all would be dope if y'all work together. And I'm like, who is it? Oh, it's Tim's husband, Armani. I'm like, what? So then we on there playing games or whatever. And then he get on the game. And then the way we do it is we would play Monopoly, but we would talk smack on the phone at the same time. So we would all get on the phone together and we'd be like, your move was terrible. How come you didn't take my trade? And we doing all, you know, just having fun, being silly. And then next thing you knew, I'm posting on Instagram like I normally do. All of a sudden, I get a text from Armani. He's like, hey, bro, like, we got a worship album coming up. Like, do you want to play on it? I'm like, yeah. Like, what I got to do? Oh, well, just basically come out here and we got you. Cool. Like, now, you know what I'm saying? If somebody steps to Armani, it's going to be a problem. East Oakland going to come out, right? Because that's my brother, right? And so, and because we played together, because we built that relationship, we sat there and laughed. We talk about some family history stuff. We just chill, we kick it, we communicate, you know, as men communicate. We ain't talking every day on the phone, right? But like when we do talk, it's cool. Okay, so now next time another gig roll around and somebody hit my phone and was like, hey, I need a keyboard player, call Armani. Off top. It wasn't even a question. Well, how much should I pay him? Pay him, make sure you take care of him, it's all good. So like, like really, we just did another gig. They asked me, who should I get on the gig? Armani. It was no hesitation. It was reservation. It wasn't no nothing, right? And because we got that rapport, like he said, other musicians bring you on. So because he treated me right, I had no issues with him. He had this business with me. We had no problems. We have a good time. We chill. When I get a call to refer, I'm referring to people I'm cool with. Right, so that's how that works. Who is this? Wish Armani loved me like that. Who is this talking? I don't. Their name is only Facebook users. That's not fair. Y'all gotta.
Yeah, we gotta check that person out.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah,
They get you, bro. They get you, bro.
Every time I get on here, I be getting attacked.
Yeah, it's all right, bro. We got you covered, bro. It's all right. But yeah, what's it say? It's a level of respect to keep conversation private. It's meant to keep your conversation private amongst people you trust. Absolutely. You gotta be able to deal with people that you trust. And
can I speak on that?
Go ahead.
And one thing about especially getting in new environments with other musicians and stuff, is one of the best things to do is to keep your eyes open and your ears open and your mouth shut, because people will tell on themselves. So when you go to confide into somebody and your business ends up being out in the street, that's pretty much indicative of who that person is. They're going to tell on you anyway. Right. And so you have to really pick and choose and be choosy of who you talk to, your private conversations. My door is open to all y'all. I mean, like Armani used to come over to my crib, you know. And,
I was just about to say that.
And everything for me has always been, it's like, no matter what level you think I'm on, I can learn from everybody on this call.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's something that you do that I may not think about doing or that I may not ever do. And if you give it to me, more than likely, I won't ever use it the same way that you taught it to me.
Right.
You know, it'll come out from my spirit different than it comes out from your spirit, even though I think it's a cool lick.
Yep.
You know, and so you know, and the other thing I wanted to touch on is that you know, everybody has a place. I want to touch, the young lady was talking about artists and bashing people. Everybody has a place. People are on those award shows because other people like them,
Mm-hmm.
whether you like them or not.
Right.
Facts.
You know, and so you know, take a hint. If you ever watch professional athletes when they're being interviewed, they're very cautious about the words that they use. You know, and there's a very small percentage of them that get caught up on social media because of the words that they use. And one thing is when you use social media, that's documentation. You can't deny it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny it. And so the one thing is that is that you always want to be respectful of anybody because that's their place. You may not like a certain style of music, but if that certain style of music is going to take you around the world, you're going to learn how to like it. You know what I'm saying? Because I just bought my house because I play for this person, or I just bought my car or whatever. And no, it may not be the music that I like, but I'm going to own it because this is what's paying my bills.
Absolutely.
And I think as musicians too, like as musicians, man, we need to practice more being, like Daryl saying, being reachable, because the same people we talk about. So then my next question would be, well, why don't you help them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of I know, especially when I first started playing keys. I mean, yeah, I just started. I'm just trying to find my way. So I'm, Mary had a little lamb, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And instead of like a lot of people like helping me, it was more so like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're not there yet, woo. And I'm like, listen, that's fine, but help me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you can appreciate people like, even like Daryl, because like he said, so I met Daryl because of this clinic. And me and him like kind of connected, whatever. And I was, trying to grow on drums, whatever. So Daryl was kind enough to invite me to his house, man. We watched film. You know what I'm saying? All these, we studied the stuff that he done, whatever. He took me in his back room, went to his drum room, and he like hand showed me, you know what I'm saying, how to do different stuff. We worked on different like timings and rhythms and how to play each, you know what I'm saying, genre, whatever. So stuff like that, you don't know what that does for people. It's not, at this point, it's not even about the music. It's about the fact that he opened his door, you know what I'm saying, to be like, listen, I'll come teach you whatever you want to learn. Like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So like you don't know what that does for people even beyond music.
Yeah.
And being Christians.
Yes, sir.
That should be at the forefront of, you can take the Bible verse, give and it shall be given unto you.
Yep.
What was given unto me, I should give, and then somebody else is going to give unto me, give back to me. It's a beautiful circle.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful circle. It's a beautiful Bible principle. It's like, give what you learn. It's not going to hurt you.
Absolutely. But I think but the reason why though, because kind of go back to what we were saying earlier, the reason why a lot of this stuff happened is because everybody's trying to worry about their gigs not being took, or people trying to focus on like, oh, like I need to prove that I'm better. You know what I'm saying? So let me not show them in person, because if I show them this, then that means they might, come to my level. And so people are more worried about ego stuff and, you know what I'm saying, how they look than being a helping hand. Because like Daryl said at the beginning of the conversation, listen, there's always going to be somebody better than you. And I don't think people like fully understand that. Like, listen, you is not the top. You might be a great musician, which is great, but there's always somebody in this world that's better than you. And nowadays, it's little kids that's like 3 years old that's coming out killing. Like,
my niece is coming up.
For real.
Yeah. So I think people really just I think the scope and the narrative of musicianship would change if people had the narrative of like, listen, I'm trying to help and build this musician community, instead of like, okay, let me protect myself and let me prove that, you know what I'm saying, like I'm the top gun, so I'm not gonna show nobody nothing because I need to still prove that I'm the top. Like, no, it's not about that.
Yep. Absolutely. Let's go there. Now, oh, hold on. This is Ronnie Thomas, y'all. He said, just for the record, didn't get a chance to speak because of his connection at work, but he wanted everybody to know that he respects each person on live right now and can't wait to hear y'all and see what I can steal from y'all. See, perfect time.
Tell Ronnie he can steal my car so I can collect the insurance.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Yeah, man, like it's very important to handle people and handle these relationships, well, man. I mean, it's critical, man. Like a lot of people don't understand the power of what it takes to build, but I think it's critical and important to like help other people. I mean, so like one of the things.
Can I say something real quick? Can I say something?
Go ahead, bro.
So I think it's also important. I don't know if we're gonna end up getting on the subject, but I know Don was talking about the story of how me and him connected and him came out here for the gig. So and kind of go back to our questions earlier. I think it's very important how you carry yourself even in those type of situations, like being personable, because a lot of situations too that I've been a part of with like you bring somebody in and people just got this like you can't tell me nothing, like I'm already the goat of my instrument. You know what I'm saying? Like pretty much you should feel blessed that I'm here. And they got this attitude and people don't understand how that can like cut you off, because then they don't know who you connected to. So then they'd be like, listen, so if Don, with us working like that, you know what I'm saying, if Don would have came in like, oh, like you can't tell me like what to play or how to play, or you know what I'm saying, like I've been doing this for X amount of years, so I done played for this person, so you can't tell me nothing. Then it'd be like, all right, well, cool. So then the next time somebody be like, hey man, I'm thinking about bringing Don. I'm like, no, you don't want to do that because here's my experience. And so, you know what I'm saying? So, and Dom don't even know that, listen, you just missed out on some money and a good opportunity because of your character. So the fact that Dom came out here, he was like professional, he knew the music, and then, he was able to, take what I was giving to him. Like, I was asking him to do, like, all right, don't do this here. Can you do this here? And it wasn't like, no, I already know that. Like, he was just like, all right, bet, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't know how far is that, because now, because of that experience, I'm like, listen, I'll work with Dom any day. Like, anytime I got something big, hey, Dom, I'm about to fight you out here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's character. So I feel like, musicians need to, like, understand, like, your character is what's keeping you on the gig.
Hey, man, listen, I'm just, I was always taught that if you come in somebody else's house, if they ask you to take your shoes off, you take your shoes off. Right, like, you don't go in nobody else's house to them what you should and should not do. And for me, it's like if I'm coming into your creative work and your creative process, I'm not getting ready to come in I'm not offering no suggestions. I'm not walking in like, hey, bro, you remember that song? Y'all should maybe nope. Hey, what do you want me to play? Okay, great. What do you want me to do? Oh yeah, I thought I wanted you to do this, but now when I'm listening back to it, I want you to make this adjustment. Okay, cool. Right, because of those experiences where we had with like the crazy shout music scenarios where I learned how to get my attitude together, right? Like, like that stuff prepared me for like these moments. Now, the other part about this conversation too that I think is important is like I'm very much of the mindset of leaving a digital footprint and a legacy, like so that my kids, right, like when they grow up, like they'll know that they daddy worked hard to get them to that point, right? So the other day, my daughter is on YouTube and she's like watching YouTube Kids because that's her thing, and so she's watching some girls, little princess dolls, and they run around, they little castle they made in the house or whatever. Well, the next video was my drum video that I posted on YouTube.
Wow!
And my daughter like screams like to the top of her lungs, and she throws her headphones off her head and throws her laptop on the couch. And she's like, Daddy. And I'm like, what's going on? Is everything okay? Like, do you need something? Like, what's happening, right? And she's like, Daddy, your video is on YouTube. And I was like, I know, I uploaded it. Like, what? And she was like, Daddy, this is so cool. Like, so then she wants to watch the video, and now she knows the artist's song because she watched the video so much. She knows the song. So like it's just a principle of like being willing to help people and being willing to put people in a position to win. Like it's absolutely important to do that, right? And the reason I'm saying that is because like this being a part of this clinic, I was putting on clinics all the time on Instagram, like without nothing. Like I'm just giving people just, hey, here it go, like here, like take it. Like I ain't even tripping, like just use it for whatever you need to use it for, learn it, like apply it, like cool, we here. Right. And the reason I'm saying that is because now to be doing a clinic, like even Rodnell could tell you, like it was the last time we was at a share together, I was talking to them about metric modulation and how to use it when you building out a solo, right? And so they was like, dude, you need to do a clinic. And I laughed like, well, all right, I will eventually. Like, then you call me. Then we get hooked up. And then this transpired. And I'm sitting there like, yo, like this, I've been wanting to do this for years. I just never, knew how to put all the pieces together, but I was doing it anyway.
It ain't nothing but God.
So, and Rodnell can tell you, like, whenever we together, I always take out the time, and I'll be like, I tell him because he my dude. So I'm like, hey, bro, like, when you play, I know you trying to build this, and this, but I'm like, look, this is how you should do this, or think about doing it this way, or try it this way, or play it this way. And then I don't just tell him, I sit there and I show it to him. And then after I finish showing it to him, when he get it, I'm juiced. I ain't mad, right? Like I ain't upset that he got what I showed him. I'm juiced that he got it because it's something that he actually wanted to have. And so I'm like, cool, this is gonna help you feel better about playing the drums, that you can use it on your next gig. Like I'm juiced. I'm on the live looking at him, waiting for the solo section to come so he can use the move he was working on. Like that's me, right? So doing a clinic where you can do that for way more people, I'm juiced about that because I'm like, look, dude, like this is all I want to do. All I want to do is teach other people how to be better and to make themselves better. And then, because that was what happened to me. I wouldn't even know what shedding was. I wouldn't have known like all this stuff regarding how to apply rudiments and how to do all this other stuff if somebody didn't take me under their wing. Right? So it's like cats forget where they come from. Like, hey, I didn't get here on my own. Like I learned from some of everybody. Like, I don't think I be listening because they like, oh, you dope on drums. Bro, I be listening to everything. Sometimes I'm listening to the bass player or the organist and how they doing something. Or like Armani on keys, he will play certain hits. So I knew when we ran the song again, I would play the hit. As soon as I did it, like on the cymbals, he looked up like, how did you? I'm like, yep, I'm listening. Because I'm paying attention to all the parts going on so that I can make sure the sound is on point so everybody know we all in this thing together, right? So I'm gonna put a clip real quick and show y'all like one of the videos I was talking about for like me taking out some time and helping other people. So here it goes. Right, so that was me. Right, I had been doing this stuff. I had been doing like chop of the day. I've done like maybe 5 or 6 of those. Just giving out this.
Excuse me.
Huh?
Excuse me. So
no.
Right, Daryl. Right, Daryl. So what?
No, hey, can you send me that video? I want to learn that chop. I don't have that.
Look, hold on. Listen, I'll find it and send it to you in your inbox.
Just send me your talk for the day. Hey, let me tell you something. Which was really crazy during this COVID. I've been taking drum lessons.
Okay.
and the only reason why is that once you stop learning, you become stagnant.
Exactly.
And that's always been my thing. And I'm in an area now where cats don't share. And
Yep.
so you know, I'm reaching all over. So you know, I joined Drumeo, and you know, I'm just you know getting some other
That's what I'm talking about.
you know. So yeah, anybody, please send me anything. You know,
Man, look.
I'm learning.
But see, and that's I was just now you hanging your hat on something I was ready to deal with too,
Mhm.
because like you have to be willing, and this is what I learned from like watching a bunch of like CEOs and stuff like that, because I'm into that type of stuff, like Elon Musk and Grant Cardone and like just all these different guys, right? And so like what I've learned is they're like lifelong learners. Right, like they never stop learning. Like they not tripped. Like where most people would quit and they feel like they didn't reach this point and they didn't made this main stage. Like Daryl just hit the nail on the head when he says, "Hey, like I'm learning." Like for me, I watch stuff on so many people like all the time. Like people ask me questions. Well, who's the next up and coming? And I'll mention somebody's name and they'll be looking at me like, "Dang, like you really know?" Like, like you know who this is? Like I'm like, dude. I follow all these dudes. I mean, so it's for me, it can be young or old. It don't matter. Like if it's something that I can learn from you, or I can see something that's like stimulating to my understanding to help me to want to keep going. Like that's where I'm at with it. And I'm all about helping. So that's why I posted this type of day. And I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find it in my phone right now so I can send it to Daryl. But the point is it's man, look, like for me, this is what it's all about. It's having these experiences and these exchanges to where like people, we can learn from each other. Because at the end of the day, like the content I post, it might sound crazy, but all the stuff I post, I go back and look at. And I'll be like, dang, I could have did this way. Right. So I'm learning from myself because I'm constantly looking at it all the time. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. Like if I would have did this with the left hand first, maybe I should try with the left hand. And now I'm challenging myself to be better every single day, even just watching some of the clips that I post. Because, you want to make sure it sound right and look right and blah, 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 blah. But like, I'm my worst critic. So when people come up to me saying to me about how they don't like or they do like or whatever, I'm like, that's cool. But you ain't saying nothing to me that I ain't either said to myself or said worse to myself because I'm always paying attention. Right. So, I mean, it's imperative, man. Like, hold on. Yeah.
You could have waited till afterwards.
Oh, no, we're doing it now. Because look, I be having 12,000 things going on at the same time. So if I don't do it in the moment, I'll forget, right?
Young
yeah,
terrible in the ways.
Yeah, but it's imperative, man, like to have these conversations and to have these type of connections and relationships, man, because like you just never know. Like you never know where things lead you. You never know how well you handle yourself takes you. And what's crazy is when we talking about relationships, like the reason I got connected with Soul Tone is because I helped Dave with the streaming service for their church. I would have never met Rod, but I went to the church to help Dave. Hey, bro, this is how you do this. Okay, cool. Right? So like next thing I know, I'm getting a text message. Hey, bro, can you help my man? He's trying to start. He's trying to do a drum clinic. Okay, cool. What can I help him do? Man, he's trying to figure out how to do his live stream. Okay, great. That's how this is the only reason I know. This is how I have this relationship with Soul Tone. Well, now he don't call Daryl as much. He calls me and he talks to me about his project.
because I still endorse Zildjian. I'm sorry. I'm still
down here. Rodnell.
Hey, bro, I'm not going to leave Soul Tone. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
And I mean, it's just Rodnell is endorsed with Domain. He be trying to get me over there with them, but it's like, man, listen, I like the company. I'm yes, then Roger be trying to get me on Soul Tone. I'm like, listen, I like my symbols, right? So I mean,
get them tonems out of here. Get them tonems out.
I miss being a drummer altogether. See, I don't even play something.
Come on, bro.
Man,
come on, little bro.
Man, it's hilarious, bro.
I don't even got no drum gigs to play cymbals on.
Yes, sir. No, I mean, but see, this be the thing. Like, you gotta listen. When I seen that Mike Burrell was endorsed by, who's he endorsed by? I think it's Sovereign Symbols or somebody. I was like, dude, anybody. Armani, you might as well go get an endorsement.
Facts.
I mean, I'm just saying because, and see, this is that conversation where people don't have about endorsements. Like, I didn't understand endorsements in the way in which I do now. I didn't think about it in that way because a lot of people kind of down talk having endorsements because they kind of like, oh, well, they be trying to control you and they be trying to do this and they try to do that and blah, 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 blah. And until I realized, like, it's not always that scenario all the time. Like, a lot of times that's not the case. They actually like, hey, we want to basically make your experiences as on point as possible because you're helping us to make more sales and generate more income. Yes, but at the same time, like, some of these companies actually do consider you to be family, right? Like, they really do take care of you, right? Where other companies is kind of like you a number on the board, right? So you got to figure out, do I want to go to the number on the board and be a part with the big boys, if you will, or do I want that family structure where they're gonna take care of me? I mean, because every company ain't the same.
And you know what? You know what's for me? I'm finding out after all these years, the best thing about endorsements is tour support.
Absolutely.
I just got on with DW a year ago.
Okay.
But when we went over to the UK and when we went over to Australia, they made sure that I had a DW kit over there.
Yep.
And Zildjian's the same way. You know, they make sure that I have what I need, and I don't have to carry that stuff around with me. You know, and I don't have to worry about it. And that's one of the best things about tour support. They're discounts, or if you're getting it for free, that's all fine. You know,
right.
But you know, you can't carry that stuff around with you all.
Man, look, I mean, that stuff is expensive to carry around with you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's an extra bag. And then to think, like, a lot of those bags that you get, this is something else too that musicians don't talk about. If you're gonna do a big ride, just know that you're gonna have to check that bag every time you go on the airport. So what you might want to consider doing is maybe getting you a 21-inch, 22-inch, 20-inch ride if you're planning to carry your cymbals with you because they can fit on the airplane. Like, so you're not gonna have to worry about them losing your cymbals on the way to your gig and then now having to go rent some other stuff and all. Like, that's stuff to consider. Especially if you know, well, some people don't know because you don't know if you're gonna travel or not like that. But most of the time when cats are traveling, they're in a car or on a bus, right? But if you're gonna be on a plane and you traveling for these gigs, don't buy no 26-inch ride unless you're trying to check your stuff everywhere you go. Right, like buy something that'll fit, like in the checked baggage, like above your head, right? So that way you'll be cool. Unless you do have that, you know, that tour support where you got to go all around. Like, I'm with a smaller company though, so they don't have the same level of tour support because they station out of Turkey, so they operate a little bit different than most companies, like US based companies. But I mean, yeah, like lugging that stuff around can be expensive. It just all depends on what you taking and what you're doing. I mean, and go from there. You know what I mean? So we're gonna figure out how to get Armani some cymbals. And
and we need to figure out how to get Armani some drum gigs.
You said some what?
I said we need to figure out how to get Armani some drum gigs.
Oh man, look, that's whatever. That's easy. You feel me? You could just all you got to do is be hired on as EMD and then just hire a keyboard player and play drums. You ain't even
Hey man, so listen, hey, I'll be trying that, and then it don't never work though, because then they be like, "Well, I need you to play keys." It been gigs that I got hired as a drummer, and I end up still playing keys for that gig.
Oh my goodness,
that's the way it works.
I was like, bro, I missed the days where I was like, I traveled as a drummer, walking through the airport with my cymbal bag. That's the best part of being a drummer, walking with your cymbal bag. I don't care nobody say. Walking with your cymbal bag is the best part of being a drummer. You look so either walking with a cymbal bag or a bass bag, but you look so cool walking with a cymbal bag. Like
I thought it was a stick bag myself.
Okay.
Stick bag too. Stick bag too.
Especially the ones that have the company name on them and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now
I seen the Zildjian backpack.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I got one last question, and then we gonna sign out, man. My
Don't forget our video.
huh?
Don't forget our video. Did you get our video?
Oh yeah, no. See, you be trying to come on, Soul Tone. Listen, come on now.
Representing us. He's a part of our family.
Come on, you know I ain't forgot no video.
He's a part of our family.
We ready. See, this one, you know, I got you. Don't you know? Come on. You know what I'm saying?
Laurie, did I get him?
You got him.
Okay, thanks.
See, I'm not fooling with you. I'm not fooling with you.
He know I love him. You know I love him. I got you, bro.
I'm playing the video because you. No, I'm playing. But no. But no, for real, seriously. When it comes to like, do you think it's how do I say this? Do you think that every musician needs to have a product to sell of their own? Or do you think
you said a product to do what?
To like sell, like as a musician, outside of t-shirts? And the reason I ask is because it's 1.5 million drummers, and everybody pretty much plays like, you know, the same stick companies, the same cymbal companies, the same whatever. But I don't often see musicians like making that transition to building their own like product or instrument or sticks or stands or whatever. Like, so do you feel like that's something to kind of delve into? It's something that I've heavily considered, but it's like I don't, you know, I'm trying to get some other opinions about how to do that or how to package that to where, you know, like because in my mind, I'm like, if I go to NAMM, or well, let me say it this way: when I go to NAMM, because I've never been, but when I go, like I want to be one of the people that's walking around, but that's handing out stuff to come to the booth, right? Like that's
the way you should do it. That's the way you should do it.
But I don't feel like that's not a mentality of a lot of people, or if it is, they don't come together to put that type of stuff together. And I'm just wondering, why is that? Like, can maybe y'all got some knowledge y'all can help?
There are a lot of musicians who build drums.
Right.
It's just not us.
Okay.
And there's a guy here in Colorado. I can't remember the name of his drum set, but he has this drum set that you use one key to tune the drums with both heads. Have you seen those drums?
Oh, you're talking about WTS?
Welch? Is it Welch?
Welch tuning systems?
Yeah.
Yep.
That guy is right here in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, wow.
And so I saw his first prototype at a drum shop here, and then he went to NAMM.
Oh wow.
So the thing is usually with those kind of things, are you going to take the time out of being the playing musician to be the product musician? Because it's hard to do both.
Right.
And the other thing is like, you can get with a company and you can do within product development and develop your own drum or drum set or whatever, you know, to your specifications. But the thing is when you start talking about building drums and or building an instrument, not only do you have to have the time, but you have to have the equipment and you know, and the factory to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and so those are things, and one that's going to be a hard thing to balance. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Being a playing musician, enjoying the road, going on the road, and then balancing your business of making an instrument.
Okay. So you say
you know what I'm saying?
Hard to, yeah.
So I mean, my friend, I don't know if you know Freddie Holiday. He's been with GMS drums forever. He did Boys II Men. He's playing with the OJs right now. But GMS has his signature snare that he carries with him all the time. And that's something that he developed in product development. It's his snare. You know what I'm saying? But he's out on the road. So, you know, those are things that you have to think about as a musician. Are you going to be the player or are you going to be the developer?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because you might have a great idea, but Lord, the time that it takes to develop that, how many plies, you know, what the hoops are going to be, what the bearing edge, and you know, who you're going to get to do that, what hardware you're going to use, you know, and we're just talking about drums,
Right.
you know. So,
It's a lot to it, huh?
yeah, it's a lot to it. You know, are you going to be able to practice anymore? You know, are you going to be able to go on the road? And that just depends on where your heart is. You know, if your heart is in development, go do it. You can still be a drummer, but you know, I don't think you're going to be at the forefront of. You know, if your heart is at the forefront of that. You know.
I get it. So that's why I'm asking. See, I'm getting this insight, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because like I'm currently at a place where I play my own sticks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got custom sticks done from a guy. I think he's out of Iowa or something, and my boy hooked me up with him, and he made me some custom sticks. So like, I'm kind of at this notion of like, do I start a stick company, right? Like, do I go that route? You know, and how do I do that, and what way does that look like, and you know, that type of thing, like how to develop something that's cool for us to play, but it's like I'm playing something that's my own,
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why I'm wondering, like, and I know like Eric Moore, he started a stick company, dope sticks, I think it's called, yeah. But I had already had a prototype before dope sticks ever came out, right? So I'm like, okay, well, do I still continue? What, you know, like, you know, just kind of wondering like how to push that process through. And it's not because I'm opposed to being clearly I'm endorsed. So I mean, I love drum stuff, but it's just like, how do you take things to the next level, and how do you push things through to where you could now have a product to be sold to inspire musicians to now do business related stuff with an instrument, right? Because I don't always hear that conversation at a clinic either, right? So a lot of times we'll talk about playing last time, but you don't always talk about like product development or what's the best way to make a brand or, you know, all that type of stuff. Because I know a lot of guys are into that stuff. So yeah, I mean, and this is something else too, just as a side note. When you're good at what you do, like for me, I play with a couple of becoming bands as well. Well, they look at my social media presence and they're like, dude, can you help us with our social media? We'll pay you to develop and run our social media stuff as well outside of playing. So now you kind of have a twofold relationship with somebody to where you're not only collecting a check when these gigs come up, right? But you also are able to make money and monetize the business in a sense because you're helping them to build their brand as an artist, as an up and coming artist. So that's something that people reach out to me about all the time. Like, I play with a group called Bella Bella. It's me, a keyboard player, and a girl who sings, and she plays like percussion instruments. They have like literally like 2 posts on Instagram and like no Facebook page. You know, that they don't have a website. They have no presence online really, but they still get called for gigs. So they're like, "Can you help us?" And I'm like, "Sure," because you clearly know about Instagram and we see you on everything all the time. So can you help? And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it. Like, what? Let's do it. I mean, let's make it happen." And so that's another way where you can help other people, even as a musician, where if you're good at videography or photography or these other things, you can actually help these up and coming artists to develop themselves. You know, even outside of talking about product development, we talk about people development in that sense, right? So that's just another sidebar. I just want to throw that out there because that's another thing where like people, they will use you for more than just what you do as an artist or a musician. They'll use your services for what you do outside of that and help you to build what you're trying to build too, right? So, yeah, man, that's it there. But I'm gonna pull up this clip now that Soul Tone is forcing me to make us watch.
No, let's introduce him. His name is Hane Wilson. He's gonna be opening up for us.
Yes, sir. Let's pull
And
it up.
he's been with us for probably about like ever since we started actually. Started in 2010, so he was there with us probably like since 2015. So he started with us since as a kid.
Wow. Okay, y'all let me know that y'all can hear it. Cool. Yes, sir. Oh, hold on. Y'all are muted. Hold on. Yes, sir. That was on point.
Yeah, he will be starting the clinic off. So his name is Arne Wilson, and he's been with us since 2015. So he's a and I met him through
Oh wow.
Ronnie Thomas, actually. I met him through Ronnie Thomas, actually. So I've been mentoring him ever since he's been with us, and it's just an awesome experience, you know, to just have him with the family. So the festival, I mean, the clinic is going to be at Double D's Entertainment. It's going to be 101 West Brooks, August the 29th. It's going to be limited sitting because of this pandemic situation. But be there so you can get your seat and hear what our organization has for you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Start to 10 p.m. I mean 10 a.m. I'm sorry.
10 p.m. What?
I'm sorry about that. 10 a.m. 10 a.m.
I'm playing with you, man. It's all good. Yeah, man. Like I'm excited, man. I'm excited to come out there. There's several people from the Bay who said they will come out as well, and support. So, yeah, man. This is gonna be a good time, man. And actually, me and Ronell are going to get together and be practicing together for the clinic. So, so we about to start doing that next week. Yeah, man. So I mean, you know, everything is about preparation and doing what's necessary beforehand to be locked in, be on point, you know, do what's necessary. And at the end of the day, like, help each other. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, we all need help sometimes. We all need another set of ears, another set of eyes, you know, to know, like, what to hear, what to look for, how things look to us might not always be how it looks to other people. So, yeah, man, I'm excited, man. This is a fun time. And I'm excited, man. Do y'all want to get back together next Tuesday and talk some more? I'm game. If y'all, I'm with it.
Let's make it happen.
And then,
If we do, Dave has to talk more.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, because Dave, you know, he acts like he here to eat a piece of chicken with us or something. I don't know what's going on today.
I'm just a sound guy, so I don't
Hey, oh well, we can talk about sound then next time. We can talk
Yeah,
about.
I'm a sound guy in training, so you know, bring it up. You know, I got my X32 board. You know, couple of speakers. You know, so I'm a sound guy in training. So bring it on.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, man. So we'll have some other topics of conversation that's important to being a musician. Running sound is one that's
right. Exactly.
Running sound is something that's very important for that. And knowing, you know, being able to be help, knowing how to, you know, do those different things, get the signal to work in the speakers. Like, listen, like, like I can see the story, but it's not
about letting the sound man do his job so that you can sound good.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's been 1,000 situations. I think that's the other thing with church. Like, church makes you have to be ready in ways and in areas you never thought.
Don't even get me started.
Ooh, so we'll talk about that next time. We're not gonna do it today.
Don't even get me started on that one.
We're gonna pause the train today. That can be crazy. That could be super crazy. So, yeah, man. But I'm excited for what's going on with and yeah, man. Let's continue this. Let's come back next Tuesday at 11 a.m. and let's talk again. And we'll talk about some sound stuff. We'll talk about, you know, some other aspects. We'll pull a list together and we'll have some topics, some other topics. It was about music ethics though, and I thought we did cover quite a bit of ground regarding music ethics that I thought was on point. So. But yeah, man, let's continue to stay the course and don't give up, man. And as I say all the time, don't just stay tuned, but stay in tune. So we'll check y'all later, and we'll be done right now. So y'all.
All right.
God bless you guys.